Welcome to the class 14 of the Python course. In the last class, we studied exception handling and errors. I taught you how we can make our code to run even if there are errors in it, and how you can print the errors so they can be fixed, or you can just simply pass that error without announcing anything about the error. So in today's class, we will be studying the match case. And so a match case takes an expression and compares its value to successive patterns given as one or more case block. So there is a case, and inside its body there are more cases that it compares with. Only first pattern that matches gets executed, and that it can also extract components, sequence elements, or object attributes from the value into variables. So this is the syntax of the match case. Syntactically, a match statement contains a subject expression, one or more case clauses. Each case clause specifies a pattern, an optional guard, a code block to be executed. A pattern is the overall shape to be matched, an optional guard, a condition to be checked if the pattern matches, and a code block to be executed if the case clause is selected. So here is a simple example. We are taking an input, we have made a match statement and then made some few cases. So I'll take an input number and I will create a variable a for taking my input number. It's going to be enter your number. And now I will use my match case statement, match a with the case 1 and print your number is 1. And in this way, we are going to create like more cases. Similarly, we will create case 2 and print your number is 2. And again, we're going to do this. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, and nothing. Alright, so we have all the cases, and make sure that this match is in the, it says your number is, alright, so I made a mistake. I have print here, your number is 3, number is 4, number is 5, and your number is A. Alright, so if I run it, I type 3, it's saying the number is 3. If I run it again, I type 5, it says your number is 5. And now if I type any random number, and it says your number is random number. So this is how we can make use of our match case. It takes the input and compares it with the cases, and only the case is executed when the case is matched. But in the last one, I just simply printed the value without make using of the cases, but it has compared it with all of these values and then executed this. So this was a simple example. Now let's move on to the another example, program 2. So in this program, we have a Python program to print table of a number which lies between 1 and 10. So how you can do this? First of all, we'll take the number as input. Input, enter your number, and we will take it as an integer, and then we will use for loop. First of all, I will explain what this function is doing. Printing the multiplication table of a number using match case. And now I use the for loop for I in range, and that range can be set from 1 to 11. So remember that it's going to print till 10, not 11, because whenever we are using the range function, it takes two inputs. First one is the starting point and the second one is the ending point, but less from that. So it's actually the second argument is equal to n minus 1. So this is 10 here, not 11 actually. And then inside the for loop, we will write our match case. Take I and then write our first case. Case 1, print f string inside our number that we will give it. Oops, we have to use these brackets inside our number, then multiplying that number with 1 and then making it equal to the number static multiplied by 1 and closing our string. And here you go. In this way, we will repeat our case 2, case 3, case 4, and so on and so forth. So I'm just skipping from here, and let me write this whole program and then I'll continue. Alright, so now we have the whole table here, and if I run, I've created my first case that will take this number, that whatever we are going to give it, then multiply it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to the 10. I run it and give it the number 7. And here you can see the whole table we have that is printed. 7 ones are 7, 14, 21, 63. In this way, we can do another number. Let's say 796. 796. And here you can see 796 ones are n to the up to 0.7960. So we have created a table, and now this is how you can make use of the match case statement. This was our program, second program or second example. Now let's move on to the next example. So for this one, let's create a function, and here we are checking error that we see on the internet. So we are creating a match status. What is the status? If we have case 400, then return bad request. Again, if we have case 404, then return us not found. In case 418, return I am a programmer. And in this way, our last case, that says return something's wrong with the internet. And this is showing us the error we get on the internet by comparing whatever the error is. So if I give status it called, now if I call the function http error and give it 404 and run it and then print TP server 404, and now if I run this, it says not found. This case, that was the case 404. If I change it and or I give it another error such as 418, and it says not found and I'm a programmer. And if we gave it the first case as well, that was case 400, it's giving us not found, I'm a programmer, bad request. So this was a program 3, and this is how you can make use of the match case statement. Now let's move on to the next example. That is our program 4. In this one we have, so you can also combine several literals in a single pattern using this line here. So if we have our previous code, and this is how you can combine these cases together. So we have case 404, we can place it here, and also case 418, place it here, and then just simply make use of this line and give all of these a simple error that no access. If I run it, so it says no access because I've called the function 3 times. And that's how you can make use of the match case statement in this way as well. Now let's move on to the next program. Now let's move on to the next concept-based program. Alright, so the last thing that I was using, I'm using this here because note that the last block, the variable name underscore acts as a wildcard and never fails to match. If no case matches, none of the branches is executed, except this one, the last one. Now let's move on to the next concept, that is about two literals. So the first pattern of it has two literals and can be thought of as an extension of the literal pattern shown above, that is this one, XY pattern. But the next two patterns combine a literal and a variable, and the variable binds a value from the subject point. The fourth pattern captures two values, which makes it conceptually similar to the unpacking assignment XY equal point. So this is how you can make and mix and check different cases with the match case statement. So let's start with our example number 4. First of all, we have a match point, and we have our case 0, 0, that is just the two literals from our case, and then we print it as this is origin on a rectangular coordinate system. Now let's move on to the case 2, and now we have a variable with it, and for that we have to print its value. I'm using f string, then inverted commas, then y equal to these brackets and y. This will give us the value of the y. And for the case 3, we have x but 0 value of the second literal. And again, we are going to print our values using the f string, x equal to parentheses x. And now we have a case 4 where we have both variables x and y from the coordinate system. Print f string x equal to x, y equal to y. And in the last case, we have raise value error not a point in case we enter a string, not a point. So now if I run my program, before running that, we have this issue that says point is not defined. So point is going to be x, y equal to point, or the other way around. We are supposed to. This is supposed to be point equal to xy. X is going to be an input number where we'll be taking x value, and similarly we're taking the value for the y input, enter value of y. So now we have taken the value from the both x, y. We have made our 4 cases, and let's run it. Now let's give the value 4 and 7. 4 and give a y value 7. So this is the case that x value is 5, and we can change this to something different like coordinates value is. So if I now give the value 8 and 9, it says coordinates value is x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 9. This is how you can make use of the match case statement in this sort of scenario. Right, so this is how you can make use of the match case statement. Now let's move on to the next concept. That will be our program 6. Then what we'll do is, without pattern matching, the function's implementation would require several instances, such as these instance checks, 1 or 2 length cells, and a more convoluted control flow. The match example version and traditional Python version without match translate into similar code under the hood. With familiarity of the pattern matching, a user reading this function using match will likely find this version clearer than the traditional approach. One of the things about a programmer is that he tries to make the code small and do the same exact tasks, which can take huge amount of line of codes. Alright, so here is another example for the match case. We have to match some flavors. Let's start with creating the main body of the function with main body of the match case with match flavor case. Let's say chocolate, then vanilla, then strawberry, and so on. Now we will print our case and it will say favorite ice cream flavor. Now we have the next case. Don't forget the indentation and the semicolon. Now we have the next case cookie, mint, print, nice flavor. Case underscore print unknown flavor, and that's it. And for flavor, we will take the input, enter your order. Alright, so now we have our last program, and if I run it and give it the order, let's say cookie, and it says nice flavor. And then if I give it any random, let's say I give it mango ice cream, and it says unknown flavor, which can be used in the case that the ice cream is not available and so on and so forth. So in today's class, we see the match case takes an expression and compares its value to its successive patterns given as one or more case blocks. So that's how we implemented it in our first program, second program, third program, fourth and fifth and sixth. And yeah, that's it from me in today's class. And you can learn from me in Python in one-on-one coaching. Just message me on my social medias and I'll teach you there. And yeah, that's it from me for today's class. And make sure to like video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next class where we will be studying OOPS classes. OOPS means object oriented programming.